YTV was on the ground at the National Youth Conference 2025, capturing every highlight from this powerful gathering of young change makers. We spoke with the CEO of the National Youth Authority, the Deputy Representative of UNFPA, and the Head of Plan International, who shared their vision for youth empowerment.
It has been very insightful.
That
various breakout sessions, talk about She Lead session, talk about youth in agriculture, talk about youth in entrepreneurship and youth in apprenticeship, etc. So, it helped to also shaping how NYA would put together its policy moving forward and how we should even go about our activities moving forward. So currently, most of the things that actually were discussed, especially youth peace and security, also youth against substance abuse, is actually imperative that we go into various secondary schools and form various clubs that will enable the students to also continue that activism and that advocacy. So you realize that putting the youth together has actually brought up some proposals that we would use to work on to make sure we are able to actualize it.
I think we've seen commitment. One, we had the Honorable Chief of Staff attending today. He personally taking questions from the young people, I think was just mind-blowing, and responding to what the government would do in response to the questions they had. We had girls asking questions about strengthening TVET, for example, from students asking if there could be an initiative to cushion those who don't have fees, to pay for that. Questions from those who want to do entrepreneurship, how they can access finance. So he was able to address all that.
It's about the inclusion in governance. It's about mental health. It's about all those issues. But they're also making commitment.
Yes.
The young people are taking commitment and saying they're ready.
Yes.
So government say they're ready. Partners say they're ready. Young people say they're ready.
They're ready.
So let's get to it and begin to work. I think that's all we need now.
Our commerce also turned to the delegates, young leaders from across the country, to hear firsthand how the conference inspired them.
For me, really, I think starting from yesterday, my reflections from yesterday was that looking at the panel discussion, which was on youth participation from youth voice to action, for the NYA, couching such a very important discussion means that they are very serious, particularly looking at the composition of the panel and some of the thought-provoking submissions that came forth, where as those who were observing, sort of as participants, we've been encouraged to be more nationalistic, but then this reinforces in us that the National Youth Authority is now ready, very much ready to take youth voices, youth perspective, and mainstream it into their programming to ensure that whatever they do from henceforth onwards, like the program they're implementing, Ejumara, NAP, whatever, that they are ensuring that the perspective of young people are very much featured in this.
Yeah, I think it has been a great experience, and for me, listening to all the conversations that are happening, it tells you for a fact that young people are very critical parts of our country, and so we must actually also stand up and also take up that opportunity as well. So I think it's been a great experience, and looking forward to all the things that will come up after this conversation, because it's not just about the talk, it's also about action.
Okay, I'm walking away. I actually learned that what we think as trash can actually be used as something profitable.
Okay.
Something like the husk of a rice. Baba said we can use it as paper, and then we can also use them as fertilizers for the soil and then other stuff.
I learned that we should desire to dare ourselves for someone to believe in us. For instance, if you know how to do something, and no matter how difficult it is, maybe you don't have money to start, but the little money you get, you need to start it little, and don't listen to the negative thought that people will give to you. Just keep on pushing and you make it up there.
I learned that agriculture is something that is now controlling the world. It's like much attention is actually given to agriculture now, and as youth, we shouldn't see agriculture as something that is meant for people who are not educated, or we should not feel shy as educated people to get into agriculture.
The event was graced by notable dignitaries including the Dikro of Gumwafete, the Honorable Chief of Staff, and Dr. Zanato Rollins, who emphasized the role of young people in shaping Ghana's future.
And so take advantage of opportunities to learn, to build your capacity, to improve upon your skills, because those are the things that will help you to build this country, because the future is yours. Today you have leaders who are standing before you, who are telling you about the future, but you are the ones who start today. The future starts today. You are the future, so make it happen. This country is yours. We can only do so much, and you have to do the rest. It's a combination, your hands, our hands put together, building together, and making this country everything that we desire for it to be.
Truth be told, there are a lot of institutions that do have access to startups and things like that. But I think we probably need to publicize their activities to enable the youth get to know these institutions. We have the National Entrepreneurship Agency and a few others who are supposed to guide and help the youth who want to go into enterprises and startups and projects of that nature. So what I'll do is that I'll advise those agencies to advertise what they do to enable the citizens to be aware of the availability of funds that they have for such activities.
On the media front, we also engaged Sewa Amihir, who shared her perspective on young engagement and visibility, not leaving out the presence and representation of women.
This is something organized by the NDC, but you see the NPP MP, who is a young man as well, say that, look, even the young people who have been given positions, you need to prove yourself worthy, because you know what's going to happen. If they don't act right, in the future, they're going to say, oh, when we gave young people the chance, this is what they did. And so I liked it very much when he said that. And he also talked about the fact that, you know, prepare yourself. As a young person, you don't get things handed to you just because you're young. Because there are equally young people who are in the process of waiting for opportunities, are getting ready and making sure that when the time comes, they are fit for it. On the part of women, I was happy to share my experience. I have had conversations with many women, not just in Ghana. They tell you the reasons why they shy away from politics, and especially controversial conversations. I shared those experiences with people. But my thing is, look, I am a firm believer of mentoring, right? There's something that mentoring does to young people. So if you are an experienced person in politics and you can hold a hand or two, you should, because that way they know there's someone who is looking out for them, there's someone who is directing their path, there's someone who is willing to tell them you're doing it the right way or not, because all of this is really about experience.
From the big conversations to the real voices of Ghanaian youth, YTV has brought you the pulse of the conference. Stay logged in, because we don't just cover the moment. We give you a seat at the table where the future is being shaped.
YTV, yearn for more.